Okay, we're still trying to get the hang of everything here, but we're gonna go live. I apologize. I'm all the sun in the room. If you actually like looking at faces, this is gonna be a difficult one because my cat is gonna walk across my desk like 30 or 40 times. Um, yeah, sorry. So I think the name of the game is to just try and knock a bunch of stuff out here. My cat's name is Thaddeus, which it's important. That's why I put it in the chat. But I'm trying a new I used to use OBS a long time ago and then stopped streaming like a decade ago. And it's a lot different now. It's a lot nicer, which is good. But I think originally, what did I say on Twitter that I wanted to do? I think we're going to start with NBA, maybe. That might be a lie, though. Oh, yeah, it's Jokic today. Okie dokie. All right. We already fire. So what I usually do in the mornings is I actually just put like between two and four um, drafts in for the buzzer beater to get an idea of like what the exposure looks like. So I just auto fire them and see if there's like clumping. This looks pretty good, but the goal here is to get to Jokic and then Davis, right? Like that's all we really care about. Bye, buddy. So like just we're just gonna raw dog some entries for the buzzer beater. And we're just looking to get like I literally treat this like a lottery. It's kind of pointless. Um, it might be too. What's going on today? It's too early in the morning for everyone. Usually these fill pretty quickly. Let's see what else we have. We're not going to do crossover. No single entry today. I'm still getting a hang on the using the website. I'm used to just firing from the app. Okay, let's see. We got one. We are in four. So I think there's like a good argument that we either want to get to a lot of Tatum or very little Tatum today, but Sengun's fine. It'll be either Tatum or Sengun probably. Okay, let's look at this one. Man, the website's being laggy. Ah, okay. So we got a Jokic. This is gonna be a fast day today. Four, and then not filled yet. Okay, the only one we really care about is the Jokic one, so we'll take that off autopilot. All right, and five. We might check in on this just to see, but I think we're gonna hang and do this Jokic one. Try and take it somewhat seriously. Okay. All right, we're taking Jokic at one. No reason to wait. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, it's what the hey Dexter. This is what the interface looks like on web. I don't love it, but I wasn't in the draft room. I was in like the thing. So when you're seeing this, I'll have moved into the draft room. Um, and so that's why it went from having like the players in the center to the players now on the left of the player list. It's not bad. I think the best way to use it on what do we say, like on PC or whatever, is to actually shrink your screen to like 60 or 70% so that you're getting a better look. I think there's like a massive advantage in this too because I don't think people scroll down as much when they're drafting on web because they can only see like you see on the left there like 10 players. And so in these early rounds, I think that you do get a much better position. Oh, okay. We're gonna take Curry versus Miami. Um, we've seen what guards have been doing to them lately, the last couple of games at least. But then it's a tough choice here. Projections I think are going to be what lively. I actually like Adebayo a lot here too. Um, though we can disregard his last game. He played 45 minutes last night. I I think there was kind of an argument to go to somewhere in Houston. We're going to take Jalen Brown. I think it's like I'm on the fence, but I think we're going to stack up that game because Denver's actually not very good. Like this is blasphemy as a longtime Nuggets fan, but they're just not. They're not very good. They have the best player in the world, and I don't know, probably the best big in history. Honestly, like I don't care about the statistics. What the guy does is nuts, and they're just constantly digging, digging, digging. When they played the Jazz, they were down, I think, like 17 points in the first half. And part of why Jokic is doing so well is they're not blowing anyone out, and so he's just filling the bucket constantly. Um, I mean, the guy, yeah, the guy's just like a thing. Uh, yeah, yeah. So it's just it's snake draft. It's and so they do it. They just display it at the top as just as like a long snake instead of in rounds. But here I can show you the. I'll show you this. It'll come up in just a second, and that's what it looks like. So you can look at it either way you want to. We're gonna be on the clock here in just a second. Like there's a number of good ways to do the interface. I think this McCollum ADP is actually right. I think that they've got the projection too low, but I do like Mark Williams here. Markkinen also, like the Jazz are fine. Williams against Phoenix. Be through that. Yeah, you got it, man. Uh, I'm. If you've never been on Underdog, it's it's pretty cool. It's the best part, right? It's the drafting and the sweating, not having to worry about setting lineups, stuff like that. It's I'm a fan. Like I only played a little bit on here in 2024 because and honestly in 2023 because I had some issues with their customer service over little stuff and I'm an extremely petty person. But I don't like their NHL daily sub. Like they often don't mark a player out when the player's been announced out even hours beforehand. But it's only the NHL that's been a problem. And it creates its own advantage. I just don't have the kind of bankroll to put in that level of risk. And I just got sick of asking them where they were getting their sheets from. So I just got grumpy with them and stopped playing a bit. And I play on a really limited payroll bankroll. So yeah, I mean it's the best ball is the best part. I really recommend looking at the dailies are a lot of fun, but I do really recommend looking at like the if green doesn't play, that's fine. We're in last position, so we can set one of the cool things here. So like I just drafted Jalen Green. He's questionable. This should go through. Uh, he's questionable, and we can go in and you can change your rankings. So like if you wanted to do auto drafting, you can change your rankings for that. Um, it doesn't have, I wish they would create a system where you could upload projections and it would just use the projections for their system for drafting because it doesn't go completely off projections. It's like a combination. They have a cool algorithm for auto drafting. But then if you think you're going to have like a player that might be out as they're questionable, you can go in and change your rankings so that you know kind of what your swaps are going to be. You can do that either here in the rankings or when it goes live, um, which in the completed, there's a thing here on the left that says swap rankings, and that's setting your rankings for who will get swapped in, and you can modify it. So it's pretty cool for the dailies. But if you're really just like, oh, I want it hands-off stuff, I highly recommend looking at. I like to think of them as like event-based best ball. Because right now you have Major League Baseball season long. There's one in there already, and there'll be the premier one coming up. You have NFL postseason, so it's just best ball through the postseason. And you can do more studying and less drafting, and I think, just a massive advantage to that. A lot of people just throw a bunch of money in there for the fun of it. And I don't know, I'm a big fan. So uh, sometimes it lags a little on the exposure for the closed ones. Let's look at completed drafts. Uh, See, it says two entries here, but we actually have four. Let's see what the auto drafts ended up looking like. So yeah, Sengun like we thought. Sengun, Edwards, Van Vliet. The Jokic draft is good. We got LeBron at 5, it looks like, and this other one that autoed. So we're gonna be we have a lot of Sengun, a lot of Durant again today, which I think is gonna be a real problem. But hmm, okay, I'm done with this. My goal was to get to one Jokic. Let's look at what did I say I was gonna do next. NFL maybe? Yeah, we'll do NFL. They added a new contest, a best of three. I think I saw. Yeah. NFL playoff, best ball, max three entry. The NFL playoff best ball is kind of a mess. Like MLB playoff is the greatest format because it has the wild card and then the first round as well in that first week. So you don't have to find people for the wild card. The NFL playoff best ball, it's just wild card weekend is the first week. And so like the scoring that we need to look for to get out of week one, I think you have to draft additional pieces. And this year, like, I wonder if they'll have it up yet for RotoWire. Uh, so Fantasy Labs runs these dashboards, Vegas dashboard that have the open and closing lines and everything. This is one of the best because it breaks down the like what you're looking for the expected score per team. if you just want to go by the Vegas lines. And like we can see Baltimore, the Buffalo line at 28 seems high, but the Baltimore line 26, 27, Buffalo 28. The line is Tampa 27. Put money down on the Commanders. Uh, I'm gonna do that later. I didn't realize Commanders went from giving three to getting three. A 6 point swing versus Tampa Bay is pretty wild. Yeah, Commanders plus the. If I can get 3.5 plus 3.5, it'll be points. Otherwise, it's money line, right? Okay. So in the first round, we really want to get to as much Baltimore as we can. Also, I think Baltimore's extremely live to take that. So, like in the AFC, it's basically Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City. And I guess you could do Chargers on the outside. I have a ton of Chargers exposure. Well, yeah. All right, let's just fire them off. I'm I'm in so many already of other ones. Oh. But yeah, I think you just have to take Lamar 1-1. I like Allen's nice because you can get his receivers later. Whereas if you take Lamar, you are not going to be able to stack Baltimore because somebody will end up with Henry, which I don't think is as big of a problem as it should be. Sorry, I just got a notification. Somebody would like to buy my business. It's very nice of them. I'm gonna eat a little Hostess donut, just like a bowl of donuts and coffee here. This is the worst part is waiting a minute for it to start constantly. When you get seated, and just want to go. Okay. Well, so first player will go Lamar or Allen. Second player will go the other one. Hertz will slip down some. I would expect we see Gibbs or Henry go at three. This is an interesting room. I know two of these people. Not the two you probably think. Yeah. Allen Jackson should go RB here. Running backs are extremely thin. And because it's a weekly scoring, each player is only playing one game. And like I've really come around on the idea that this might be the year to not stress running backs. Like that for best ball zero RB in an event best ball like this is nuts. But like I think you can get through week 2 or 3 if you're in the right pod. Yeah, we're gonna take Henry. This does create a problem because usually we'd want to take Mahomes, but we'll take Amon Ra, St. Brown. This is a real issue though because we might end up in a position where we don't have a quarterback. Because we're not going to get Goff, we're not going to get. So like the right play technically is to take Jefferson here because Darnold slips so far down the board. But I think we just man, it's no, let's take Mahomes. This is a wrong play because it puts us too much on one side. So let me move this over. So like if we look, this is a real issue for us to be in both Baltimore and Kansas City, be stuck on the AFC. But like I'm trying to I'm trying to disrupt the draft room so that we don't get the common draft. Like if that makes any sense, because for this draft, nobody's getting 150 entries, they're getting 3 entries. And so we want to create a little bit of disruption in all of our rooms so that we have unique teams when we come out of the first round. Mahomes is dead in the first week, though, so we still have the same problem, and we gave up a lot of draft capital. So instead of getting Amon-Ra St. Brown or Justin Jefferson, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't help us in week 1, but Justin Jefferson almost surely would. So that means we need to go somewhere on the NFC side. Um, like I think let's. Oh, I'm gonna be kind of. There's no way that Goff comes back to us, but QBs are really a premium. Let's look at maybe the Rams because, like, in case Minnesota completely falls off, and Tyron Williams is an extremely strong running back. Our draft position, God, taking Worthy there. What are you doing? I mean, I'll take Goff if he's available. Okay, this is kind of a tough choice. Okay, I think we're just gonna take Kelsey, and then let's go ahead and take. Well, there might be an argument here to take Bateman. Yeah, let's take Bateman. So we're gonna stay in Baltimore, KC for now. I really would have liked Worthy there. This guy Tailblock, his team is cool. Philadelphia. I mean, I don't like that he took Puka there, but the Chargers move is nice. All right, let's look at Baltimore. See who's left. Bateman. Flowers is falling so fast. Likely's playable. Justice Hill. Um, I think Aguilar is going to get a lot more run than expected. Like, I wouldn't take Aguilar and Flowers in the same lineup, but if Flowers' sprain is worse than they think, because they're not really talking about it publicly, I think there's a good argument that Aguilar's going to get a lot of position on. Uh, he's going to get a lot of play in different positions on the field. And he's experienced. He can catch the ball. Like his hands are fine. We still need QB for week 1. I think we're going to need to take one here probably. I think we just take Jaden Daniels against Tampa Bay, right? Like that's such an obvious play. Okay. All right. That's our week 1 QB. And then we just have to hope that Mahomes carries through. I'm not really sold on Pacheco. I think we take. Oh man, this is a tough choice. No, let's go ahead and take Pacheco. Like, if the idea is that Kansas City's actually going to win games, they have to do it somehow. We're a little. Henry week one, Pacheco week two. Let's look at the map. Okay. Henry week one, Pacheco week two. So Baltimore's going to beat the lights out of Pittsburgh. Not having Lamar week one is going to be an issue. Then they're the three seeds, so they'll play Buffalo if Buffalo wins, or they'll if Denver beats Buffalo, they'll play. Yeah, okay, so Baltimore's just strong the whole way. Kansas City versus Buffalo's not really what we want, but it's in Arrowhead at least, so Pacheco should get some run. On the NFC side, yeah, this is a real problem. We gotta get some NFC exposure here, right? Like, I don't know if we can do it with just Jaden Daniels through the conference championships, but like if Washington wins, they're gonna play Detroit because Green Bay is almost certainly gonna lose, right? Okay, we're gonna take Hawkinson. We're gonna take McMillan, who should have a good week one. So our week one lineup is probably gonna be Jaden Daniels, Derrick Henry, and then we have Bateman and McMillan. And then flex will end up having to be Hawkinson. So we can field for week one. Week two, Baltimore and Kansas City should both still be going. Even if Washington loses, we'll have Mahomes, Henry, Pacheco, Bateman, Kelsey. If Washington loses, we'll have McMillan. If Washington wins, okay, yeah. Like I don't love it after that. We start to run into some problems in the conference champs, but yeah, this is a bad team. This is terrible. We've done a terrible job. We'll get Aguilar at the end. He's just free. Likely should score 8 points per game. Hmm. I was in a bunch of drafts with what's his name? Player Q DFS Neil, who's a Player Q DFS on Twitter. I was in a bunch of playoff best ball drafts, and I really liked some of the strategies he was using because it looked like he had decided to go really heavy on like one team in a conference and then use a bunch of one-offs. Problem with us getting too far down on this is that we're just like, yeah, let's take Hill here. I hate it. But, well, if it's Baltimore KC, we can field a whole team. It's just not a very good team. I mean, actually, if it's Baltimore KC, it's pretty good, but I don't think we can get out of week one, out of week two. And I don't mean in the Super Bowl because we can't have a Baltimore KC Super Bowl. What I mean is that We go KC, probably Chargers, and then the second week is Baltimore Buffalo. Now, if Baltimore is going to play in Buffalo, they're going to score either 100 points or 0 points. But that should be, we shouldn't have a matchup problem there for week two because the AFC is pretty rigid. But in the Super Bowl, we will not be able to field a whole team. I guess technically, if it was Washington, Baltimore, we could field a whole team. But without McLaurin, it would be a we'd be a deadline if that happens anyways. All right, this one's done. Let's pack it in, guys. I fucked this draft. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have taken Aguilar over Hill, but okay. All right, let's do it again. Give me a four. Four is where I want. Okay, let's leave this draft. I'm impatient today. This is literally just to bleed back to Dark Sheep. This will be my first entry in the bullpen this year. And we're going to take all of the Seattle. Oh, man. Let's get a second one going. I have Careless Whispers stuck in my head, which is maybe the worst song. Let's do a weekly. We know what we're looking for here. Oh, arms. Can't close the window. I'm in front of this giant bay window because it's where the desk is. I can't really close it because my cat will lose his shit. Give me one or two. Three is fine. So we're gonna take we'll take Lamar probably. He just played Pittsburgh. How did he do? 21. That was a horrible beatdown. I kind of think that Denver's live against Buffalo. Like Buffalo's just not. They're a very good team. And Josh Allen is a great player, but I don't know. All right, still waiting on eight for our bullpen. Um, yeah, like if it's PPR, Justin Jefferson is a great pick there at two. But half point. I don't know. The Rams defense isn't that bad. And even if it was, I'm just like Minnesota has a good running back. It's not like they're going to be throwing all the time. Like Washington's just going to put the ball in the air so much against Tampa Bay. I, I really feel like a guy like McLaurin. Oh, please let me get Lamar also. Bro, what are you doing? You got to take Lamar here. Uh, okay. Guys, Pittsburgh sucks, man. I mean, I'll take Lamar and Henry. That's okay. It was very exciting. Oh, and this guy's probably not going to take McLaurin here either. Oh my God. He's got two wide receivers already? Give me McLaurin, buddy. Take James Cook. James Cook is a great play for you. Ah, going wide receiver, maxing out your wide receivers. Okay, we'll take Mark Andrews here. Let's see how much Baltimore we can get. One thing that's great about the Ravens is that they just put it on teams. They don't mess around. They just put it to them. This does kind of suck for our wide receiver situation, but if Bateman is still on the board, like I'd love to get McMillan and Bateman here. There's McMillan. Wide receivers kind of slim for this week. Wild that people are waiting so long on running back. But let's see a run of them here. Well, let's look at the board because my gut is maybe we take Ertz here. Go nah, go early double tight end. Okay, we're gonna take Bateman. This is just for the goof now. We got Lamar, Henry, Bateman, and Andrews. Do we take Likely also? Like this guy can't take a wide receiver. Next person can, but they're unlikely to. They'd probably take Ertz here, I would think. Ertz and Hertz. Jones. Boy, I cannot get a vibe for this. Then Hertz. People really are that much down on Washington. This is wild. Ertz has 6 touchdowns in the last 7 games. We have to take another wide receiver. I think we can cut it a little slim here. Just take Smith? Man, Devonta's great, but Shakir's gonna have probably either a great day or a rough day versus Denver. I think Smith's the right play, but I do hate it. If Ertz was still available, I would have taken Ertz there and just taken Pickens maybe late. He looked bad. The ADP for him is too low here, regardless of what his recent form has been. And I don't even think it's been actually that bad, except for no, it's pretty bad. 1 of 6, 3 of 7, 3 of 6. But they're not throwing. They're just not throwing down the field the last few games as much. There's a direct correlation between letting Russ cook and losing games. It's an inverse correlation. But collusion. My man, no one has ever colluded ever. It doesn't exist. Who would have thought we'd have Cooper Cup here at our sixth pick and still maybe not take him? Recent numbers bad. Do we just take Mims just for the heck of it? I actually like Quentin Johnston a lot. Hmm. Let's take Quentin Johnston. Like these don't matter. These $3 drafts are just basically lotteries. All right. We got all of Baltimore. Jackson, Henry, Bateman, and Andrews. And then Smith and Johnston as our other wide receivers. That's a bonkers lineup. Cooper Cup not getting drafted is wide receiver so thin too. But this guy has to take a tight end here. Ugh, really brutal stuff. I don't think this bullpen is gonna fill any reasonable amount of time. I'll hang out for a little bit longer, but then we're gonna back out of it. Uh, what do we want to do? What do I want to do? Fire off some more NBA. If we can get the NBA to click, click, my man. For some reason, the NBA button and the home button just do not work. There we go. All right. Let's fire into the tip off. All right. We want the one pick. If we don't have the one pick, it doesn't matter what we do. We're just fighting for a min cash. All right. Let's see. Five. Five's okay. I mean, they're all okay, but brutal. Let's look at where we at for we have 5 drafts in. We'll fire a bunch of autos in a little while, but come on. Underdog. Let's fucking go, bro. You're not showing all drafts. You know there's 5 drafts and you're showing 2. I would like all of my exposure, please. All right. Let's see if we can trick it. Nope. Still just going to show 2 teams. All right. Yeah, I'll take Tatum here. So we have both Tatum and Green covered. Uh, so we need to find a down the line player who scores 50. How many minutes did Edwards play yesterday? 37. We're going to take Curry here. Slightly out of position and away from projection, but just you can't go wrong hating on Miami right now. I think there's like big believer that Curry just really wants to probably be his own his own guy. So I think there's a chance at some point that he just runs up like 50 or 60 or 70 point game when the opportunity presents itself. Halfway full. Oh, no, we're two-thirds of the way full. I'll tell you, for the bullpen, we have a strategy. It's called get as much Seattle as we can. I'll draft everyone. Robles ADP is way too low. I don't love Raleigh, but or Crawford. Their infield is bad. But we'll take like their eight outfielders. But Robles, if he's hitting lead off, which it looks like is very likely the case, is just that lineup is so bonkers now. We've got a the ballpark's not as bad as people think. Honestly, if you ever get a chance to go to a Mariners game, it's a blast. Of all the ballparks, it's like Wrigley was the best ballpark of all the ones. Um, Except for the time I got to see the Padres play at the original McDonald's Field in Balboa Park, which was very cool. Or Croc Field, I think it's called, which is a historic baseball field, and they played a game up there. But Wrigley was the best. Guy, I was wearing a green Cub shirt, and the guy didn't recognize it was a Cub shirt and tried to fight me, and it was still a blast. Ugh. Can we trust Fred Van Vliet? I think he went to Wichita State University, so if there's one thing we can do, it's trust a shocker. Yeah. Austin Reeves, he's 35 to 50 points. Like, this Minnesota Pelicans game looks very uninteresting. Yeah. Let's look at the numbers. Yeah, like that Hornets Suns game, these numbers are nice. I think people are letting that go too low. Yeah, because you got a 124 and 125 in Charlotte Phoenix and 125 in Minnesota New Orleans. And I think I would prefer the Charlotte Phoenix game. Hawks have a 122. Oh, okay. Yeah, give me Brandon Miller, guys. I'll take him. With Jordan Poole. Oof. I mean, I actually really like Miles Bridges too. I think Bridges has more upside. Let's take Miller. Oh, thanks. Sorry, Sheep. I was looking at numbers, but thank you. I appreciate it. Like, I'm gonna be so pissed when everyone takes all the Mariners because the Mariners are going to win the World Series. Like, I regret to inform you, sir. We got 8 seconds here. Yeah, if we really think it's gonna happen, let's play White and Tatum together. Terrible, terrible choice, but like honestly, so much of these NBA dailies are just about putting a good quantity of good faith entries in and getting that last spot right. Like last night, the one that I ran up was I had Miles Turner, which even on the thing, I'm like, oh, this guy will do 35 points. He did 35 points. But if I'd reached lower, it would have been bad or great. It's the bravery needed for these people. It's I don't know how people just grind these all day. I I mean I do it. That's the worst part. Especially right now because I've got money. It's just like in an underdog. It's just like why what am I doing? Turn that one $3 entry on Christmas, that auto drafted entry. Come on, let's get one more for this bullpen. All right, let's we're gonna put two autos into the buzzer beater. Knows Phil will take a look at positions and then just watch. Sometimes I just enjoy watching the machine do its business and fiddling around a little bit. I really just don't want to make this potato soup. All right, what position? Three? Yeah, that's good. All right, we're just gonna let the four autopilot. We'll do the three though. Let's get really wild in this one. Assuming that Jokic and Davis go 1-2, I think we're not gonna take LaMelo. Let's take Trey. Let's take Trey at three. And that'll leave Sengun Tatum, LeBron at six. I may let Edwards drop to us, which would be really good. Oh man, you're auto drafting. You're gonna take Davis here. Yeah, because we're looking at 122 and a half is the live expected score for the Hawks. Like, why wouldn't we take Trey there? Slide is killing me. I feel like this bullpen is just like, ooh, so close. Send a message to Bjorn or something. Tell him to just throw some money away. I would have liked Edwards, but we're gonna go back to Curry versus Miami. Let's think about this. We got 20 seconds. Not, yeah, we'll take Curry here. I'm gonna end up with, I think I already have probably 50% at the end. I'd be surprised if it wasn't still 50% out of 30 or 40 entries. It's a fine place to lose money today. I don't want Van Vliet again. So we're going to take Reeves out of position and get some Lakers exposure. There's no Kyrie for a while. Luca's still out. I think they might let Reeves just play a bunch of minutes regardless. This is actually like a really good question. Can the Lakers get ahead far enough that Dallas just gives up? And if so, who else do we want? Like, is it a Max Christie day? Because they'll make him play like 50 minutes. They'll put 50 minutes in a 40-minute game for him. Uh, if they're ahead, they'll just have him run out. But also DFS. Like, Rui's probably not going to play a bunch of minutes from ahead. Dalton Necht would get play, but that would be all second half play. So even if he did like 25 minutes, he's still only scoring 25, 30 points. Finney Smith, if they get up far enough ahead, he played 30 minutes. That's 30 points. Yeah, I could get to some Max Christie at pick 6, I think. That'd probably be it. I also just don't like Rui positionally. Hachimura. But yeah, Reeves, Christie. I mean, obviously, you're going to take LeBron and Davis. Though they may have capped upside today. It's funny they're probable and not questionable, like the first time in their lives. I kind of want to play Porzingis here, but I think we might just go back to Charlotte. Play Mark Williams yet again. We're getting to the same grouping of players, which is either good or bad. But come on, one person. Let's go. Oh shit, it filled. Yeah, boy. Oh, perfect timing too. Oh, and I've got a terrible position. This is what I'm looking for. Oh shit, no, this room is a fucking nightmare. Sheep, why'd you do this to me, buddy? This is a nightmare room, man. This is gonna be probably my only entry in this contest. Uh oh. Alright, we're taking Derek White here and maybe who else do we want? Dyson Daniels, maybe. Yeah, maybe if Dyson Daniels falls to us. If not, we'll take Jordan Poole. even though I think Jordan Poole probably doesn't play. And Poole's out. We can take Kuzma. How many minutes he play? 30. We're not taking Kuzma. Okay, let's look at this board. I'll move my camera in a second. Soto, Judge, Skeens. Sorry, Otani, Judge, Skeens, Soto, Witt. Mm, here, look, close that one. Yeah, I just gonna have to hope it. No, sheep. This is great, man. I'm just goofing here. Um, glad to have it fill. Last year, I took so much Corbin Carroll around this position that it was a bad year for season long. Took an absolute bath. Well, I think we have to do it. We're gonna go Julio here, and got just gotta make the position. That's too high for Churio. Mookie moving back to the infield. So outfielders are going to be at a premium again. It looks like I should really be watching your show sheep. This is a real problem for me. We're gonna take Mookie. Lineup's too strong. Oh, the bullpen's only $5. I should have been filling this up. This is so bad. I was actually just looking up what the roster requirements are. I shouldn't be. This is just wasted money. I'm just donating to you, sheep, or Nez, or I still can't believe Nez. Nez keeps ending up in my like single entry pools. Like he was in my single entry NBA yesterday, and like guy's killing me. He's these people are too good. This is a real problem. I'm really feeling for you, sheep, because like you're like, hey, come fill this, but you know that you're going to have to be against extremely good players. What a nightmare for you. We're gonna minimize our face. Nobody really cares about seeing me anyways. In fact, nobody's watching this. Is that our first pitcher? No. Oh yeah, because Skeen. What? I like this play by RPH here. Skeens, Scooble, Wheeler. He can basically finish drafting pitchers now. I mean, if you can get one more, that's great. But just go against the tide and hope to hit on bats. That's cool. All right. Denver. It's wild how much of like the daily fantasy sports and everything spaces people in Denver. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna reach a little bit here for, man, I don't really want to take a Rosarania here, but I'm not taking James Woods. Let's take Trey. We'll take Trey at position. And then we're gonna take Hernandez, who last year I had outrights on um, home runs. I really like him in that park. And he faded after the first couple weeks and then came back strong. But it's hard to get away from batters in a lineup like that. Mm. Is he staying with Boston or Atlanta here? What do we have Nez doing? Well, I mean, it's a good position. Got a lot of early trout last year as well. It's a bad year. Bad year. Mm. Also, Atlanta. Why people really like Atlanta? It's almost like they're supposed to be good. Alonso going to be playing for $100 million this year. Like I'm old and superstitious, so I'm one of those people who's like, oh, I'm not, I'm not drafting a guy who's gonna get a big contract. I don't know if they've done his contract yet, but yeah. Guys, you gotta let a Rosarena fall to me. You all have too many outfielders. Let's start taking pitchers. Like it is nice to see that Logan Gilbert's ADP has moved up from when this opened, because he should be. I think some of these Seattle pitchers have a real chance at. It's been a long time since we've seen a team roster several threats for 20 wins, but I genuinely feel like I don't even like the Mariners, but I genuinely feel like the Mariners have a lot of pitching advantages and then have finally put together a lineup that can support it. Like this, a Rosarena signing is so huge. Just in general, as far as just having a healthy team this year too. Their minor league is pretty well full of old power hitters. Like they're gonna lose some games badly. Like Brian Wu, if he's in the rotation, is gonna go out and throw some 8 run, games, but that's just the variance of it. Don't you fucking do it. You take Cole Reagan's here like a man. You be a man. Denver dog. You take that Cole Reagan's pick and get out of my get out of my business. Let me go Gilbert Arozarena here. Come on now. Oh, you're counting it down too? Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, boy. This is what we're looking for. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, Denver dog. I love you, baby. Yeah, I mean, I really like Miller too has such these pitchers have incredible tools even when they're not successful. And we've seen two types of pitchers be successful there at let's see, is that Safeco? But they're in that park. And it's seasonal, it depends. But that's why like King Felix, right, had just an incredible run because he was really two different types of pitcher. And it's such a good park for pitchers that are confident. And this, I'm so high on Seattle this year. I don't think they're really going to win the World Series. Like, I don't think they can compete with some of these teams, but like if they have a, they could make a deep run in the playoffs if they have an appropriate type of weather for their home games that allows them to both hit and pitch. They have too much power in their lineup. And so I am a little worried that they're going to lose a lot of games just by striking out too much. But for best ball, like it doesn't matter. Like DFS single days, yeah, it's an issue. But for best ball, I want that aggregate or the mean, and the upside is just so high. All right, what are we doing here? I'm really regretting that Trey Turner pick. I think I could have done better positionally. What a mistake. This ADP for Brenton Doyle is, I mean, he plays in Colorado, but it's not real. Mm. Trusting in Yelich. Oh, I love Yelich because he's got such a sweet swing and he's so skinny. Like, I genuinely really like him as a player. He seems really funny, but like, I'm always just being so skinny and trying to put that kind of force through the ball. Once you start having back problems, I just don't, mechanically, I'm just not sure you can overcome it. But I'd love for him to have another MVP level season. Fans there deserve it. Better lineup than he's had in a long time, I think. I don't know, but I don't think we're gonna have any of the players we want out of this block fall to us here. There's no way that Pablo Lopez is getting back, which means we're probably done drafting pitchers for a round. What's up with Jerickson Profar? It's just not signed. This guy gets cut in Colorado. Like the Rockies are the. I'm from Colorado. I went to opening day for the Rockies. Like I love the Rockies in theory, but boy, they are just a terrible organization. But yeah, Profar gets cut and has just such an incredible season there. Looks like he's still open to staying in San Diego, maybe. He's just shopping free agency. That's fine. Bregman's still a free agent. He hasn't been signed yet. Oh, no, not the Tigers. If he went to the Tigers, that would be terrible. Okay, we just missed on Lopez, Adamas, Abrams. We're not getting into Cowser. I don't really need an outfielder. I could take Naylor. I think we're going to take Logan Webb here, though. I mean, the guy just eats so many innings, and they'll let him run out regardless of how they're doing. Then we're going to take Luis Castillo. We're going to go way out of position here. We're just going to end up with extra infielders later. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, as long as the Mariners don't get disbanded, we'd be in good shape. Yeah, I. What's going on? Is it like an ownership problem in San Diego? That's fine too. It's not like unless he goes to Cincinnati, I'm not really worried about Castillo. But oh, Man, this tells you like what I was doing last year. It was a crazy year. Yeah, I wasn't following the Padres at all. I used to work for the Padres. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. I used to work for the Padres. I would think that this would have been one I kept track of, but nope. It's too hard to keep track of literally everything. I don't know. Some people are able to do it, but this is wild. That park is so good for hitting. I don't think people understand, especially on like it doesn't even have to get that warm, but if the marine layer is set off, like it's a really good park for hitting. And I think that's one of the major struggles with. I don't know that we've seen a lot of Padres leave and be super successful. I mean, some improvements when they move, like if you have a lefty move to a left-hand favoring park, but no, I guess there have been a bunch. I don't know. That the new Petco Park is really good for hitting. They're gonna have a season out there that looks like Coors Field if they just get the right pieces in place. Oh, people do slow bullpens? That's insane. That's fucking bonkers, man. I just saw your tweet. I can't imagine. I just like making the picks, moving along. Ooh, 30 slows going. I wonder how many I'm having a real thing where I'm like I'm considering making a run at Neil Artfield's oldest person to live draft 150, but my inclination is to literally just put them all in fast draft and fire off 50 at a time and just constantly tab, 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 tab. Um, just because I think that the joke would be worth it for me personally, not for anyone else. Round. What's the we're gonna look at the misspelling Sacramento is embarrassing. I was just looking at the ballpark dimensions for the A's Sacramento ballpark, but it doesn't look like it's going to give a huge bump. This is stuff that you a reasonable person would do before getting into a bunch of drafts. Hmm. All right, we'll take Rutschman here and Eugenio Salami. His comeback for the postseason was so incredible. Yeah, let's do Salami. Uh, Vinny P. All right, we've got a real problem at pitching. Why am I looking at pitching? Let's just look at pitchers. Joe Ryan had a bad year. Luis Heel gonna be on the roster? I think so. Lopez had a down year in Atlanta. Injury? Mania. Maybe at the Mets. I can. Yeah, I think we're gonna snipe Mitch Keller before Nez can get to him. I can't remember if Nez is a Pirates guy. I think him and I were fighting for a lot of Pirates last year. That was looked good early. I think Sheep is gonna take Bryce Miller here. That's okay. Just have those exposures a little bit. Guys, it's an interesting strategy to 5-1-4 off the top, but he started so strong with his he's the one who drafted all the pitchers, I think. First 3 rounds, yeah. Steer, Adolis Garcia, Spencer Steer, Castellanos. Oh, Arizona. Interesting. Jason Dominguez. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, Sonny Gray, assuming he still has an arm, right? It's like that ADP is too low, probably. It's always hard to know, like with baseball, what their form's really going to be like from year to year. That's a good pick. I'm not mad somebody took Miller there. Hmm. Part of me is like, I don't really care about past form. We're gonna take Volpe, and I think we're gonna take Young Ho Lee. I mean, we did. We took Young Ho Lee without a really good Seattle play there. We gotta just take the best players available. But if we get full Young Ho Lee back at the start of the season, that guy's season could be very strong. Statistically, I'm not sure that it's going to score the points we want, but we don't really know. We like Paredes in Houston. He's not going to fall back to us. It doesn't matter. Sheep, if you're still here, can you tell me what the optimal is? Like, is it five pitchers? Like, what's the numbers? Because there's surely an optimal build. Like 677 maybe. Triples is safest, buddy. Yeah, I'll undercut on pitching, but yeah, if it's just like build kind of evenly, then seven. I mean, I guess it depends on what you started with. Where I took my outfielders at the highest premium, so I'm gonna end up with fewer outfielders. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Goldschmidt. Oh, you think he's got another one in him? Like, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see. Have him with some pinstripes, knocking the ball out of the park. I mean, get him out of. He spent so much of his career wearing Bush. That stadium is. It gets nice and hot, but terrible to hit in. Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn. I don't know about Mason. Bro, hilarity. Oh, I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Like the bravery. Incredible. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like that makes sense. Like it's there is a thing where it's the thing we all want to believe that we can do, where you just look at the numbers and you say, oh, okay, these are the numbers, this is the metrics. Um, I can put everything to the side and do it. But it's hard to click that button. Like it's hard. That is the beauty of using rankings and just running auto drafts. But that Jared Jones pick is really good from Nez. And fucking Pittsburgh guys, man. You get you want them just in case this is the year. Like, got to get them in case this is the year. Yeah, we're gonna take Keller and kind of want to take Brian Wu, but I mean, Giancarlo is. We'll take Stanton. Nice about it being on the horn, you just get all this dead time. Oh, I would love for Luis Castillo to go to the Orioles. That would be good. Yeah. All right. Easily be fitting another draft in at the same time. Underdog saying they can't find my location is troublesome. There we go. You should take Brian Wu. Like, yeah, I'm way behind you here, but Conforto, man, you should have taken Brian Wu there. You got to get this Seattle pitching system up and running. Put Taj Bradley in the queue. Taj Bradley gone immediately. It's a great pick, though. Great pick. Smart player. You gonna take? He should take Wu or Lazardo. I don't hate Fat here. Like, what are we doing, Nez? What are we doing, Nez? Auto picking, I would guess. He's probably got a show that he's doing right now. Yeah, that's a good pick, man. Fucking smart players, guys. 7 pitchers. It's optimal. Yeah, thanks, Sheep. Thanks for sending the thing too. Oh, we're gonna get Jokic over here. Guys, all you gotta do is start a stream and then have Sheep in the comments, and then it's just you just print money. This is this is what happens as a general rule. We take Eflin. I don't love it. Woodruff, Evaldi. All right, we're gonna take Buxton, and then we're done with. Oh, shit, that was a bad pick because I do want to take Robles probably. Let's look at pitchers. I think let's scroll down here and take Tanner Houck. Yeah. Oh, we took Robles because I was fucking around, didn't pay attention to my time. Well, that's fine. I wanted him anyways. Torres. Is there a single infielder here I really want? Smith, Hoskins, maybe. Let's make some pitcher lines. Eflin's fine. I'll take Shane Baz. Pepio was a disappointment last year, but I still like him. Lodolo. I can get burned by Gavin Williams and Severino. Jobin Kelly. I'm a sucker for Brady Singer, but I don't really want to play him in Cincinnati. All right. Yeah, I should have just not taken Buxton. 'Cause I don't really care about the time running out and taking Robles. I wanted him, and it's okay, but all right, let's see. How many minutes band play last night? 45 minutes. This is going to be a wild one. We're going to go Jokic, and then we're going to take Reeves as our second pick, and I think, oh, yeah, we'll take Jalen Brown. I hate it. Like, that's way against projection. The ADP and projection are so out of whack. I don't really care. Let's set this up. Do Williams, Daniels, Randall. Don't need two more just in case. Really want Porter. All right. We're gonna take Tanner Hoke, and we're gonna take Reese Hoskins, and then we're gonna try and get two more pitchers here. Mm. Yeah, man, I got one pinched in the auto as well. Like, It's aggravating, but are you using a drafting screen, like an overlay? Because I know some of the overlays have been bitten. This is gonna be the worst NBA team I draft today. Yeah, I'm always tempted. Like, what I really want is for them to let us do. If I could upload my own projections, I would really like that for NBA, not just rankings, but straight projections. Because the way their auto drafter work, it doesn't go off. I don't understand how it works, but it's got some sort of algorithm that looks at both ADP and rankings and projections. And being able to upload your own projections would be really helpful. And since they allow you to set your own custom rankings, they should be able to allow you to set your own custom projections. And I think it would really kill a lot of the dangers for their website of letting people use overlay. Because I know they've been trying to avoid people getting into the programming at all. And it's just like an easy fix to just allow people to CSS their own, mm, not CSS, but to upload their own projections. So, yeah, yeah. I sometimes feel like Underdog is really interested in promoting a good environment and community, but maybe not super interested in promoting their draft product, which is not the moneymaker that their other products are. Oh yeah, let's do some picks after this. No, I've been doing a lot of auto drafting in the NBA, and I'll play around with it sometimes, and it'll skip past ADP. Like if you queue somebody, it'll pick the queue first, but it doesn't always go by ADP, which surprised me. That's why I've been messing around with it. Final pick here. Let's do Wiggins. Wiggins could have a really big night. Okay, we'll go look at some pick'ems. Let's waste some money. These are literally just giving money away. All right, what do we want to look at? Atlanta. It's like a trace card. Points, rebounds, and assists 40 and a half for Trey. I mean, I think we just take 24 and a half points straight. Yeah. Let's see what the alts are. 30 for 1.65. Hmm. I think we might want the Jalen Brown over on rebounds. If it's 4.5. Ugh, it's a modifier. Oh, terrible. All right, let's see where we're at on this draft. I don't really want Gavin Williams. We're going to take double pitcher here. I think It is tempting just for the joke to take Nestor, old naughty Nestor. I know Ranger was good last year, but Ranger Suarez is not a good pitcher. Okay, we didn't get Jackson Job. That's all right. Let's I mean we could just take a run out on Charlie Morton here, even though yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Do a Seattle Baltimore connection if Castillo moves. All right, I'm gonna look at this. Okay, Rodriguez, Betts, Turner, Hernandez, Rosarania. This is good. Gilbert, Webb, Castillo. That's a bad pocket. That's too early for Webb. I don't care about ADP there. Rushman, Pasquantino, Volpe, Young Lee, Young Ho Lee. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about anything except that Byron Buxton pick. I'm not really sure what the better pick would have been there. Maybe Xander, Josh Young. Young could have a good season. He struggled so bad with his health last year. Pena in Houston. Yeah, I mean, there's some infielders I could have looked at there, but I ended up with Hoskins later, which is fine. I don't think there's any pitchers I was really that into. So, a wasted pick on Buxton or Robles, however you want to see it. But I know. It's so hard not to take Nestor, but what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? You didn't take Nestor either, so all right. I'm gonna go make some soup. I hope. I guess there's a few of you actually in here. I hope you guys have a great day. And if you're in this draft, then I hope you sniped me efficiently. I don't think you did, but thanks again, Sheep, and other people that I don't know who you are. You'll have a great day. Good luck.